Hey everyone, it's Star Sketch and welcome back to a new video. Today we are doing week 4 of the Ground Yourself workbook series, and next we'll be going into regulating your emotions. So let's get into it. We're almost done with the book. The biggest section, I will say, is the last section. I'm pretty sure. Let me just see real quick. Yeah, it looks like the last section is pretty heavy. So be ready for that. But let's get into emotion regulation. And this is definitely more dialectical behavioral therapy activities. So if you like DBT, this is definitely your section. If you've never done DBT, I'm glad that you're here because then you get to learn more about it and, you know, have more coping skills in your toolbox, I guess. Excuse me. Let's get into it. Emotional regulation, being able to get control over your emotions. Emotion regulation is a common set of coping skills to use in DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy. The different kinds of emotional regulation coping skills are act the opposite, check the facts, please, and pay attention to positivity in your life. So for example, act the opposite. Emotions and behaviors are interconnected. For example, anger might make you raise your voice, while sadness can lead to withdrawing from life. This connection works both ways. Behaviors can also influence emotions. By choosing the opposite action, you can shift your feelings positively. So for example, emotion, sadness, action, isolating yourself from friends and family. Opposite action, call/text/visit someone you love. So for example, let's do the emotion is anxiety. Hide in my room. Opposite action, clean/organize room. Because I feel like instead of just hiding, you're doing something productive rather than just kind of dwelling in the thoughts. And then let's do anger. Action, yelling into a pillow. Oof, that's definitely something I do when I get angry sometimes. Opposite action, writing it out/journaling, which is a lot more helpful than just yelling into a pillow. Well, yelling into a pillow can be helpful, but you know what I mean. Check the facts. Have you ever reacted strongly to something and then regretted it later? Often what feels really important at the moment doesn't seem as big when we think about it later. To help calm these strong feelings, try to check the facts before reacting. Ask yourself the following when checking the facts. What event triggered my emotion? What interpretations or assumptions am I making about the event? Does the intensity of my emotion match the facts of the situation or just my assumptions? Think of a recent event you would like to check the facts on. I don't know why I added an extra S. And write out your responses for each question below. So the event, do I want to make one up or actually do a real one? Something I did that I then regretted. I don't really regret much. All right, we're gonna do a fake event. It might be something that happens in the future, so I could better prepare for it, but fight with boyfriend over them cheating in your dream. This is kind of a funny one because I didn't really have a fight about it, but this happens a lot. So yeah. What interpretations or assumptions am I making about this event? My boyfriend wants to cheat on me. I'm just having that assumption. And does the intensity of my emotion match the facts of the situation? Oh, so emotion, I would be angry and sad. No, because it was just a dream. It's, you don't know how many times I've heard about, people fighting about this. It was just a dream and not in reality. With a smiley face. All right, let's get into please, which is a very simple acronym to remember. Your body and mind are closely connected. Staying healthy helps your mental health and makes it easier to handle tough emotions. Remember the acronym PLEASE for 5 healthy habits. Treat physical illness, eat healthy, avoid mood-altering drugs, sleep well, and exercise. Period. All the things you need to do to stay healthy. Pay attention to positive events. I love this one. Most people tend to focus on one criticism even after hearing 10 compliments. Recognizing the positives in a situation can lift your mood. Try to pay attention to positive moments for a little while each day. Pick an enjoyable activity and focus on the good things, avoiding the negatives. Here are some ideas to help you start. Having a good meal, going for a nice walk, watching your favorite movie, visiting friends or family, having yourself a nice relaxing night. After some practice, try extending the gratitude outlook to more and more situations in your life. To challenge yourself, try it during situations you usually don't enjoy. Write out here from your past or over the next few days some positive events that occurred. So let's just spread the positivity. What positive things? 2 years with my boyfriend, which is such a big thing because I've never been in a long-term relationship like this where it surpasses 2 years with someone genuine and doesn't cheat on me. Anywho, created good trippy horror art. Finally got my dog's nails trimmed. I get it done professionally, like a person comes to my house and everything. Sold my Lorcana collection because I am just not into it anymore. Remember when I had that Lorcana channel? Yeah, that was a time. The only thing I didn't sell was my Elsa, except Elsa card. And lastly, some positive events. Got new temporary promise ring. So for those of you that don't know, my promise ring is currently broken because the crystal came out of it. So we got this replacement one for like $10 at the fair, but then my boyfriend's card couldn't work on the guy's reader, so he just gave it to us for free. So yeah, so this is like the replacement promise ring. We're gonna see if we could try to see if they could take this crystal out, like a jeweler, and then like put it into that one. I don't know, because it's the same crystal, moonstone. So I was like, why not try that? But anywho, that is the end of that section. I'm pretty sure, yeah. And next week we are going into the last section of the workbook, which is crazy. So yeah, I will see you guys all next week for week 5, the finale, I guess, of the Ground Yourself workbook series. I hope that you all enjoyed, and I will see you guys then.